After months of tossing the ball back and forth between the cancellation of the contract with Area Games and the assurance that a Western version will be made by Naoyi, we now have new details on what will happen to Bless Online. A few days ago, Naoyi announced that the game will undergo a rebuild project. They owned up to a lot of the game's current faults and very briefly gave an overview of what they're aiming to improve before Bless Online embarks with a Western release. Today I'm coming to you with details on exactly what they will change in the coming months and information on the test server for the game's rebuild project. I'll go right into the changes. The character customization is getting a huge improvement, with character dimensions becoming more adjustable than ever before, so characters can now be made very tall or very short, which isn't doable to the same extent as of now. The same thing will apply to a few other sliders like thighs and chest, and an actual RGB color changer for skin tones and hair colors will be added too, on top of the existing preset colors. They'll be adding in a bunch of new options to the character creation process, and as you can see, we'll have a new interface for it too, which looks a lot cleaner and more informative than the previous one. As for the combat, all I was able to find is that they've made changes to the fluidity of skill usage for every class, and as we can see here from the live stream of what's to come to the Japanese version, the downtime and casting between skills have been greatly reduced for the Berserker, which was what made it extremely annoying to play. I'm very stoked for this change cause I am a Berserker main, but I also have a lot of ult, so I'm excited to see what they did to the other ones too. There will also be way more depth to the skill system compared to what's live on KR, which we actually saw the prototype version of in the Japanese closed beta, so I already knew this was coming. I still don't really understand it yet, but I'll be going over that right when I'm able to play with it on the test client. The Taming System is going to be made more interactive, as opposed to the current system which is mainly RNG based and at the moment has no real challenge. From my best understanding of how it was explained in the Japanese livestream, it's getting a kind of, if you guys remember that game, gunbound type of sliding bar that's gonna go back and forth between two sides and you have to try to stop it at the right spot by hitting the spacebar. That somehow correlates with your success rate. Mounts and pets will now also have these orbs that will represent their grades, which I guess is their way of adding more EP into the game. Personally, I don't like it very much. I feel like it takes a lot of the immersion out of the mounts. Instead of just seeing a guy on a horse, you'll be seeing a little dumb orb following it around with absolutely no justification for its existence. I do have to say though that the cool part of this is that mounts at the gold orb rarity will visually change, which is pretty cool. I mean, just look at how this mount changed. The autopath feature, which was live in the Japanese beta, will be present too, and based on the screenshot, it looks like it'll be improved as well. We'll be able to literally just auto-run to the next quest and play in super lazy mode. You guys might already know how I feel about the auto-pathing from my previous Bless video. I'm not a fan of it at all, but if all goes well with everything else, I think it won't really be an issue for me. For sure it's not enough to deter my interest in the game. We also got a preview of improved effects for upgraded gear, so cooler glows on weapons and armor, which will reflect how much has been upgraded and also other variables like the type and rarity of the item. Effects have been upgraded for various skills as well. Naoyi has also released an image of what looks like a humanoid version of the Masku race, which at the moment is being debated whether it's a playable humanoid version of the Masku or if it's just a type of skin to be applied to characters of the Masku race. We're not sure yet what it is, though I think it's doubtful that they'll work on a new playable race at this stage, when they have the rebuild project on their plate, but I wouldn't fully discard that theory yet. Oh, and there will also be a brand new PvP arena that will take place in Belarus, the geyser area in the game. All I know about it so far is that it's gonna be a flag contest type of PvP. No details on that as of now, but I'll likely make something on that when I can actually mess with it myself on the test server. There's a bunch of new updates that I wasn't able to find much information for, like changes to crafting and gathering, and a few I just didn't feel I needed to talk about, like improvements to the user interface. The latest update by Furia, the admin of the Bless-source community who's got direct contact with Naoyi, is that the developers at the moment are focused on working on client optimization, in particular on loading times and better performance in big fights like the Siege of Castra. I want to note that everyone with a verified Korean game account will be able to play the Rebuild Project test client, but if you don't have one yet, keep in mind that you need a valid Korean social ID number to register or get an account a different way. As for me, I will be able to play the game and cover more of the changes, so if you'd like to see what I find right away, you can join my Discord because I'll be posting and talking about them there. I'm really glad for the direction Naoyi chose to take on a rebuild project, and also how they provide updates to us directly now, and have open communication with the Western audience. The more I think about it, the more I find the whole contract cancellation with area games thing as a stroke of luck, cause now they can spend a couple of months developing a game that will be much closer to the Western standards instead of delivering an unoptimized and unbearable game managed by a greedy company. I do still hope that they'll do a self-publish for the West. I can see Bless totally making a comeback this year and doing really well, so long as they keep it up with the game improvements and release the game within the next year or so. As always, I want to thank my patrons for their support, and thank you all so much for watching.